Hey guys, this is Samuel and welcome back to my Halloween fandom YouTube page. Today we have another mask, which is a VS scene mask. Not the typical one, it's the, as you can see, it's the bloody version. I do two different versions, I make two different versions. The clean version that I call, which is the non-bloody version, which is not clean at all, and the bloody version, which is that one right there. That mask was made out of a top-notch replica resin blank. It was actually a full kit from top-notch replica. And working with resin is always best for that type of mask because working the resin is way easier to create scratches, to create depth, to create chips and stuff than when it's on a plastic blank. So I highly recommend using resin for that type of mask. When I do a mask, I think I said it numerous times, but when I do a mask, I try really to emphasize not only into the screen accurate aspect of the mask, but also the realistic aspect of it. Which means that I don't only rely on paint when I do my mask. I rely on other stuff to create contrasts in the finish, because when you get there's a real mask that is really weathered and beat up that you find in nature, that mask will not be all uniform everywhere. It will not be all matte and or all glossy. There will be contrast in it. So I try to work that to have that type of contrast. And I think this creates something very effective when it comes to a replica. I understand that in the movie, when you're shooting a movie, probably that the movie props, they didn't care about this because of all the filters and the way the movie was shot and stuff. And they wanted to have something really strong, really fast also. But when you get a replica or a piece that you want to display at home or to cosplay with it, I try to really put an emphasis on this. Because for me, it creates really a big difference in the quality of the product. If I turn the mask, you can see that there's the thick little leather strap with the buckles and stuff, and everything is weathered. The inside also, I always weather the inside. Since day one, I always weather the inside of my masks also, because for me, it didn't make sense to have a really beat up and nasty looking mask in front and having clean, pristine straps and pristine inside. Yeah, that piece is very something to do. It takes, that I think with the part 7, I think that one is like the longest to make for me, to paint for me. Because there are so many things that I want to, that needs to be taken into consideration to have a final look just like this one. Which is very interesting is that that mask is only seen in one, well, maybe two scenes in Freddy Vs Jason in the movie, which is the one that Jason like floats into the lake with all the blood at night, and then the next day, the next morning, where he goes out of the lake with Freddy's head on his hand, which is not the bloody version, it's a clean version actually. But I mean, that mask is so freaking effective because, you know, I believe that it's the most beat up mask that you can get in all the franchise. Can be, I mean, put next to the Jason Goes to Hell, because the Jason Goes to Hell, there's big chunks of the mask that are removed. But I mean, look at that, these are all like the scratches that are on the hero mask for the most part. I mean, there's so many things, all the chips and the crevices and everything. I mean, that mask is it's a bomb in my opinion. It's something that is so effective and so scary at the same time. Scary to make and scary to have, but again, it's so nice. So that's it guys, hope you had a good time watching that little video. So yeah, stay tuned for the next one.